Hi, I'm Bill at Wire for USA. If you're looking for internet, TV, security systems, or cell booster systems, why would you look at a company that only gives you one choice for each of these systems? Wire for USA offers it all. Viasat, Hughes, CenturyLink, Dish TV, DirecTV, Wilson cell booster systems, and now Starlink and EchoStar internet systems. Starlink and EchoStar are the newest, the fastest, and the strongest satellite internet made. No limit, no contract. Wire for USA has it. Call 605-341-5361. Whatever your home or business needs are, call Wire for USA for the products and the service. You don't need training wheels with our system. Connect to the future with Wire for USA at 605-341-5361. We are hometown, we are South Dakota, and we do appreciate your business. 605-341-5361. See us at our new location, 710 North La Crosse Street in Rapid City.
Don't shop what's left, shop what's coming. New Toyotas are arriving daily at Denny Menho Toyota. Reserve your next Toyota before it ever hits the lot. Plus, qualified buyers can get 5.49% APR financing for 72 months on select Toyota certified used Camrys and Corollas. We're paying top dollar for clean used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Experience the fast, friendly, and fair way to buy or sell your vehicle at Denny Menho Toyota or DennyMenhoToyota.com. $1,633 per finance regardless of down with qualified credit. Expires 8/31/2026.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
And here's what you need to know.
NFL media reports that Carolina Panthers promising second-year linebacker Nick Scorton tore his right ACL in practice today and will be out for the season. Last year as a rookie, Scorton had 5 sacks and 7 tackles for loss. New York Giants receiver Malik Nabers will not be placed on the physically unable to perform list to begin training camp. Nabers had over 1,200 receiving yards as a rookie, but tore his right ACL 4 games into last season. The Baltimore Ravens today waived rookie quarterback Diego Pavia. In Major League Baseball today against the Minnesota Twins, Cleveland Guardians starter Gavin Williams struck out 11 and allowed just 2 hits in 7 scoreless innings, including striking out the side on 9 pitches in the 4th. He was taken out after 97 pitches, leading 1-0, and the Twins promptly tied the game and then went on to win it in 12 innings, 3-1. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, good Thursday afternoon. Welcome in. Let's finish strong tonight. Easy for me to say. Here we go, Thursday, ready to go into your Friday. Let's get after it tonight. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, 2 hours, thought-provoking sports talk from high school to college to the pros. We try and get you covered with it all tonight. Great guest lineup. Welcome in across South Dakota, where it is always a great day in South Dakota. Remember that. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio, KWSN Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Our affiliates are great. We appreciate you tuning in on your drive home. Remember, you can catch us on X right now. Follow us, watch us live. We're up streaming on X at Nate Brown Show, so you're there. And also YouTube channel, The Nate Brown Show. Go to youtube.com, The Nate Brown Show. You've got us on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. If you've listened to me on the radio, say, hey, I'll check you out on YouTube. Good stuff there. Subscribe. We'd appreciate that. Get our numbers up. Get our street cred up a little bit. We got to get some YouTube street cred. And also, I got to catch up with Mr. Beast. Isn't it amazing? You set goals in life and you try and do a good job, and then a guy like Mr. Beast passes you by. Go to Midwest Sports Plus. That's the other place. We appreciate our partnership with Midwest Sports Plus, the new high school sports streaming app just launched this past year. Ready to go with another season of high school sports, Midwest Sports Plus. We are live there right now. Let's look at the Thursday lineup. 4 great guests across the board from all over the country and right here in South Dakota. Let's take a look. Robin Lundberg's coming up, former Sports Illustrated. He's been on Sirius XM. He was on ESPN Radio years ago. Robin Lundberg, really good basketball analyst. He now has his own YouTube channel. Yes, I'm trying to catch Robin Lundberg. He is in tonight talking WNBA and more. Yes, we have to. You know this. Robin Lundberg live from Chicago tonight. Great basketball analyst. He is on tap. Haven't had him in a long time. We'll go to Omaha tonight. Gary Sharp on the way talking Big Ten. Big Ten Media Day starts next week. Gary Sharp's on tonight. Omaha.com. Zach Borg's live from Sioux Falls, Midwest Sports Plus. We'll hit on some Legion baseball and more. Zach Borg getting set for the Legion Baseball State Tournament next week in Rapid City. Midwest Sports Plus, he is coming up. And down to SEC Media Days, down to Alabama with Ryan Brown, not my cousin, the other Ryan Brown with Next Round Live. Just wrapping up SEC Media Days, his take on Kalen DeBoer. And who is, I'm going to ask him this question, who is the villain? I mean, we're big on this villain stuff since yesterday's show. You guys had great text yesterday. Who is the villain of SEC coaches? I should have made that my question of the day. We'll save that one for Ryan Brown. Coming up from Next Round Live is his show, and he's at SEC Media Days just wrapping up today. Let's get you on the Nate Brown Show if you want in. 605-720-1067. Mark that number down if you haven't. You listen every day, first time, long time, you bet. 605-720-1067. Invite you on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. Powered by the Pizza Ranch. We appreciate the Pizza Ranch. They support South Dakota Sports Talk Show, and I invite you to take your family and friends to the Pizza Ranch Buffet. It's the best in town. East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. Two great East River locations for the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. And the text line is open, 605-720-1067. Hit us on the Barron's Wilson text line. You're bored today anyway, so be a part of the conversation. 605-720-1067, the Barron's Wilson listener text line. All right, what happens next Saturday? Anybody? Crickets? What happens next Saturday, August 1st? Your Minnesota Vikings launch training camp. Yes, the Minnesota Vikings for the 2026 campaign. Do you have your tickets yet? I know you guys go up to Vikings training camp. Why do I mention that? Because people are throwing around stuff already about what the Vikings still need to do and what the Vikings are going. And I've never seen a team like this with so many varying opinions. I'm looking at the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm just looking objectively. I'm not a Vikings homer like you guys. I'm the vice president of the Kyler Murray fan club, so you can take that one with you. But I'm looking at the Vikings like everyone else. They start training camp next Saturday, and here's the comments. And I don't know if this is just the nuts on social media, but here's the comments. Vikings, Kyler Murray, talent on offense. If he returns to form early on, the Vikings are a playoff team, are a team to contend. They have talent. Everybody always throws around that word. That's a loose word. They have talent. And then I see people, and I've had people on this show, NFL analysts, who are kind of ranking the Vikings. What did Frank Schwab put them at? 19? Did Frank Schwab, our guest from Yahoo Sports, national NFL writer Frank Schwab, I think he had them at like 19. So that means they're out of the running. I mean, so there's such a wide gap here where the Minnesota Vikings as they enter 2026, and how do you see them? You see them with a great defensive coordinator. He gets a lot out of it, I think, with Flores. You see them as a coach who's really highly touted. We're talking like Coach of the Year stuff, but he hasn't won a playoff game. He hasn't advanced, and I've never seen this. Kevin O'Connell goes from he's one of the great coaches to, if they struggle this year, people are going to discuss, should Kevin be gone? I mean, this is just wild to me. The Vikings, such a, what would you call it? A high ceiling? Do they have a high ceiling, or is it just one of those things? Nah, they're just going to have to get their real quarterback and start over. It's not Kyler. It's not JJ. It's not the whole thing. So let me ask you, why am I starting with the Minnesota Vikings tonight? The number one controversy in the Vikings deal is this. Who is Kyler Murray going to be? Let's put it all aside today. I've got time on a Thursday, if you do. I've got time today to talk Kyler Murray, and I joke. I say I'm the vice president of the Kyler Murray fan club. I'm still looking for the president. Nobody's filled out a text line candidacy, So that's still open today. It's we're going to start training camp next Saturday. And so I still have an opening for the president of the Kyler Murray fan club on the Nate Brown Show. You can text in if you're in with me. And then we'll watch Kyler Murray do what? Here's my question of the day. This is the big question mark because people say, well, they got some offensive guys. They got a good D coordinator. Maybe they need to add an edge rusher. They let Grenard go, so maybe they should add an edge rusher. However, if Kyler Murray doesn't play well, everybody's going to come back to the show, and what are you going to say to me? You're going to destroy me. You're going to say, I told you Kyler Murray's this, Kyler Murray's short, Kyler Murray never has been good. I'm ready for it, but I want you to put it out there on the record. So that's the exercise today on the Nate Brown Show as we start. For you Vikings fans across South Dakota, I want you to put it out there on the record. No more flip-flopping. I'm going to go back to this date, July 23rd. And I'm going to ask you, Kyler Murray will do what? That is my open-ended question on the Nate Brown Show tonight. So I want to get it all out there before we start getting this report and that report. Kyler Murray is going to do what? So finish that sentence, and you can join us on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline if you want there as well, or the text line. I just want you to send those in. Really good text yesterday on the question of the day with the villain of South Dakota Sports Takes. So now I want just Vikings fans or anybody. I know there's going to be Vikings haters here, and I'm ready for the season. So we're just over a week away from Vikings training camp. Can you believe that? This July just flew by. So get on the record with me. I'm going to tell you Kyler Murray is going to take the Vikings to the playoffs. And it's not just Kyler, so let's just take it easy, but that's what I'm going to tell you. We're debating still how long the quarterback competition is going to go into the preseason. I mean, we're still fooling ourselves. So that's what Ian Rappaport's still trying to tell you this week. Well, the Vikings are interesting. They're going to see who the quarterback is, and they're going to take it all the way into the preseason. Ian, come on now. I know you're Ian Rappaport, the Ian Rappaport. The Vikings are going to have Kyler Murray start, and I believe they will be good enough to get to the postseason. I'm going to leave it at that. That's my prediction. I'm out there. I'm saying it today, July 23rd. What do you say? The question of the day, I want Vikings fans, Vikings haters, everybody to get on the record, and then I'll go back to this day. You're going to be lucky. I'm going to go back to the text line on this date, July 23rd. We'll go back to our app and say who was with me, who was not with me, and where the Vikings stand as they get training camp going and this season going for 2026. Okay, that's my question of the day as we open up the show tonight. Kyler Murray is going to do what for the Vikings, okay? Start, make the playoffs. That's my prediction. That's my number one option. Start and have a losing season. Are the Vikings going to go from 9-8 to losing season this year? They're going to go backwards, not forwards, or he's actually going to lose his starting job midway through the season. I'm giving you three easy options tonight. South Dakota Sports Talk Show, and the text line is open. 605-720-1067. Answers coming in. We'll get to them. I like it. Kyler Murray, finish the sentence. You're on record with me. I appreciate you doing this. I want to see where the Vikings country stands. Kyler Murray is going to do what? I say start and make the playoffs. Vikings will be in the mix the whole time. I'm not telling you Super Bowl. That's just don't say that. I'm not going there. Start, but have a losing season. Bad season for the Vikes coming up. Or he's going to lose his starting job. Maybe there's injuries. Maybe he just struggles. Is he going to lose his starting job midway through the season? Let's go to the X poll tonight. I got it up there on X. I've got votes coming in. And I'm telling you, the Vikings fans are positive today. Is it a good Thursday across South Dakota? You're feeling good in the summer, getting ready for football? 63% voting. Kyler Murray is going to what? Start and make the playoffs. Start and make the playoffs. That's 63% of the audience. That's feel-good stuff tonight. I've got some text line stuff coming in. Let's go to the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hi, this is Arnie.
Ernie,
Canton.
what do you say, man?
Arnie. I think he's going to start, and he's going to lead them to the playoffs.
You do. That away, Arnie. I like it.
I think it's going to be the best team he's ever played on.
Good call.
And if that defense can continue to play the way it did the last 5 games of the year last year, I think they'll be pretty tough.
Okay. So you're feeling good. You're honestly feeling good, and you're a Vikings fan.
Yeah, I've been a Vikings fan since the 60s.
All
I've
right,
done a lot of suffering with them.
You and my brother. Okay, I feel you. Thanks, Arnie. I appreciate you. Thanks for getting in. 605-720-1067. Be a part of the Nate Brown Show tonight as we shoot around the Kyler Murray debate. I don't want you to come back and say, I told you. I mean, that's what's going to happen here. I got to go out on a limb sometimes. You got to have an opinion. You're doing a show. You can't be a wuss. So I'm going to give my opinion. I like Kyler's athleticism, his accuracy. He's been a number 1 pick. This guy can play. He can play. Good point by Arnie, by the way. He said what? This is the best team he's been on. And, yeah, probably by far. I mean, he's been with the Cardinals, guys. Let's get real. So this is the best team he's been on. Will the Vikings make the playoffs? Will they have a losing season? Will Kyler Murray lose his starting job? What's your vote? 63%. Let's go through this. 63% say he's going to start and make the playoffs, so you're feeling good. 25%, that's a pretty high number, 1 in 4, say he'll lose his starting job midway through the season, and it's over. The Kyler Murray experiment only going to last midway through the season, and it's going to be a cold, dark winter in eastern South Dakota and Minnesota by that time. Let's go to the text line, 605-720-1067. Listener text, Kyler Murray is going to do what? Be injured a lot and play 9 games total. I like these. Lister text, he'll start, but they'll have a losing season. Their defense is overrated. Their defense. Now, I think that guy's a little closer than many of you would think. He says their defense is overrated. I think their personnel is not the greatest. Could I just say that? Could I admit to you on that? Okay, I've watched the Vikings a lot. I'm not a Vikings homer like you guys, you lifers. And I think their defense is a little suspect. Everybody talks about, they've had a great defense. They got Flores. I don't care if they have Flores. I mean, he's fine. He's not going to be able to play defense. Well, it's his scheme, and it's like the defense is suspect. So mark that down. That lister is close. He's close. But he said losing season. I disagree. Listener text, the Vikings fan base has been a little gun-shy about getting behind any quarterback. Yeah, that's true. They couldn't even get behind Sam. Oh, yeah. Way back in the day. Sam Bradford. A Sam Bradford reference? They kicked him to the curb 2 seasons ago. Sam Darnold. Okay. I got you. I thought we were talking Bradford. Hey, hang on a second. You're taking me way back. All right, Sam Darnold. Yeah, you kicked him to the curb, and then he goes on to win the Super Bowl. So is this the time to get behind Kyler Murray? I think it is. That's my take. Okay? And 63% of you are with me. Okay, keep those coming in. Question of the day on the Nate Brown Show tonight on the text line. Kyler Murray is going to what? My answer, start, of course. Forget about this competition. That's goofy. JJ's not going to be starting, okay? And the Vikings will surprise people and make the playoffs. That's my read. I know the NFC North is tough. It's tough. Let's hope that big Brian Flores defense, let's hope Brian can scheme it up. That's some Swiss cheese over there sometimes, some holes. They have some holes on defense. I just saw a story today. Who would you want the Vikings to sign? They got to get an edge rusher. Joey Bosa? They're thinking about, some people say they should reach and get one of these veterans like Joey Bosa, who's not who he used to be, but he can do some stuff. He was with the Bills. You go and get Joey Bosa, fill some gap. And somebody said Jadeveon Clowney. So, they're going deep. They're going deep, but it's time. They have some talent. They have some offense. Can the Vikings make the playoffs? I say yes. I'm going to come right back on the Nate Brown Show. I've got two things for you. We're going to jump into some great guests. I've got like 3 guests right in a row, so hang on. But first, I want to come back to this debate. I just don't know how this has turned into a fun sport and entertaining, and I watch it and I enjoy it, and then it turns into a sociological mess. I mean, I thought we've hit bottom, and we hit another bottom today in the Caitlin Clark mess. Coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Update your living spaces with new flooring. Mohawk laminate floors are durable, waterproof, and easy to install, making them perfect for active households. Enjoy the look and feel of wood flooring with Mohawk Perfect Seal Solutions laminate flooring. On sale now through July 26th. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people get into all kinds of vehicles with loans as unique as them. Trucks, cars, SUVs, we finance them all with local service and rates starting as low as 4.99% APR. That's right, 4.99%. Keep your loan local and find the one that fits you at bhfcu.com. Apply today online or text 605-718-1818 to get started. Offer subject to credit approval. BHFCU is member owned and insured by NCUA.
At Connect Home Center, they've been a part of the Mead Lumber family since 2000. Now, they're bringing everything together under one trusted name, Mead Lumber. Don't worry, your favorite team, great service, and high-quality products aren't going anywhere. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name. From design to finish, here for you every step of the way. Check them out at meadlumber.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Storms likely this afternoon, otherwise cloudy skies expected. High temperatures reach up to 79. Winds out of the east, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance for isolated thunderstorms. Tonight, lows dip down to about 64, mainly clear skies. Daytime highs approaching 99. Tomorrow, sunny skies. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, 71.
Are you ready to feel good in your skin? Visit the dermatology experts at Sanford Health Tower Road Clinic in Rapid City. Our growing team offers skin, hair, and nail care close to home. Here you have access to acne treatments, Botox, and laser therapy. You can also trust our experts to help you manage skin cancer screenings and treatments. It's total skincare personalized for you. Schedule a skin cancer screening or learn more about our services at sanfordhealth.org.
Host your next big event at the Box Elder Events Center, now featuring all new lighting, enhanced sound, and cutting-edge AV. Your destination for conventions, conferences, weddings, tournaments, concerts, and private parties of all kinds. Plus, their gourmet catering isn't just for on-site events, they'll deliver straight to you. Don't miss the Pickle Boo Pickleball Tournament and Fall Hoop Fest. Learn more and book today at thebox.live. No one comes close to the selection of spirits at the best price than your Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. This month's specials include a $6 savings on Pendleton 750s, now just $18.99. All flavors of Bacardi rums, just $15.99 for the 750. And for a great gift, check out Mr. Liquor's exclusive selection of etched bottles featuring popular landmarks like Mount Rushmore, Devil's Tower, the B-21 Raider, and more. Available at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City, off Cantron next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. Just getting going on a Thursday. Thanks for being here. The Nate Brown Show is live. You've got us on Fox Sports Radio. Our affiliates are KWSN Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. Stream us on X right now at Nate Brown Show. So if you're on X, follow the show at Nate Brown Show, and then you can watch us live Monday through Thursday here in the afternoon. Robin Lundberg's coming up. He's covered the NBA. The WNBA's written a book. He's got a great YouTube channel with great content. He's in Chicago tonight covering the WNBA All-Star Game this weekend. Robin Lundberg is our next guest. He's been really good over the years. He worked at ESPN Radio back in the day, and I'm going to talk to him about this ESPN shift as well and all the big layoffs of big names this week. So Robin Lundberg's coming up. Great guest live from Chicago on tap. But speaking of the WNBA and Caitlin Clark here, I mean, I just don't know where to go, guys. I don't know where to go. I'm just absolutely baffled. I am just baffled that every single week there's somebody making this accusation, tying this society thing, terrible things in society to... well, it's Caitlin Clark's fault, and it's Caitlin Clark. The people that like Caitlin Clark, they like her because of this. I mean, I don't know where to go with this, guys. The latest, why I bring this up out of the blue on a Thursday, it's not about Caitlin's game last night, which I watched. We watched it as we watch a lot of them with my kids. We've been a fan for a long time. 27 points, 11 assists, great game, huge scoring. In the first half by the Fever. I mean, it was great. She had 45 points and 10 assists, her career high, 45 earlier this week. Watch that one as well. And I watch basketball because I like basketball. And I watch Caitlin Clark. She's transformed the way the game has been played. She's transformational. A better passer than deep ball shooter. I mean, so I don't watch the WNBA for, well, is she going to get fouled? Is she going to instigate something? Is she going to complain to the refs? Oh, I can't stand Caitlin Clark doing this, and if you're a fan of her, I can't stand you. I mean, this is just bonkers, guys. USA Today piece out today from Nancy Armour. I don't read a lot of Nancy Armour, so I have to admit. I just have to admit, I'm serious. So Nancy Armour talked about Caitlin Clark and the flopping and the berating officials, and she criticized her fans and why they follow her and referenced a historical figure, Emmett Till, on the racial side of things, and tying in it's in Chicago, the All-Star Weekend and history, and saying that, you know, the fans that follow Caitlin Clark, there might be an underlying thing there. And it's just like, my goodness. I never thought that we'd go down the sociological route with everything when I think people just remember Caitlin Clark at Iowa and the joy and the happiness and the fun. That was a lot of fun, and it was fun for about, I don't know, maybe a year in the WNBA, and now the last couple of years, it's just a disaster. It's just every single thing. And here's what I got to say. As I watched this with my family last couple of games this week, I said, man, she's really shooting it. She's really playing well right now. And then she gets frustrated. She'll be cussing. She'll be doing this. I don't like some of that stuff. Is that okay to admit? I don't like some of that stuff. That's okay. She's got a personality. She's fiery. You can say what can you say? She's a whiner. I mean, she needs to watch her mouth. She needs to, sometimes she flops. Yes. I can agree with you on that stuff. But we turn this into, you're either for Caitlin Clark and against all the other players in the WNBA and the history of the league and all these players that came before Caitlin Clark, and everybody thinks it's just Caitlin Clark. It's like, how can we not just appreciate the type of player she's been and the transformational part of the league that's happened? The millions of dollars, the revenue, the tickets, the arenas, the ratings. Why don't the other players just start going, hey, this is good stuff. Let's get out there and compete. Yeah, I want to beat her. I'm not going to bow down. I'm going to beat her, but it's every little thing. And guess where it comes from, guys? I mean, this world that we live in, the sports back and forth, it's all in the comment section on Facebook, on X, on wherever. I don't know where you're at, but we have writers now writing stories because they look at social media and they say, man, there's a lot of people that are sticking up for Caitlin Clark, and politically they're this side, and that must be everybody. Or, man, Caitlin Clark sure is a victim. She's a victim. We got to start reffing her differently. We got to start helping her out. I mean, it's just so extreme. And it's all from the social media cesspool. It really is. But then we have writers trying to tie in this and tie in that and connect Caitlin Clark to some things that it's like, where are we even at? This is basketball. Entertainment? Competitive? Caitlin makes some mistakes, gripes too much, whines too much. Yeah, I mean, that's all. There's other players that do that, and nobody says a thing. I've watched a lot of these players. They get fiery. Paige Beckers, man, she gets fiery. Nobody says a thing, guys. So everybody's either attaching on to Caitlin Clark because they know everything you write about her is going to get clicks. We need clicks. So they're going to write some story. Let's write a controversial story. And then on the political side, she's a political football. A political football. I'm with Caitlin, so I'm this way. I'm against Caitlin. I'm with this way. This is stupid. It's stupid, guys. And it just made me lose my mind. I can't be a Caitlin Clark fan anymore and say, hey, she should, I was watching with my kids the other night. I'm like, Caitlin, come on. I don't need the bombs every other time. Okay? I mean, you saw that at Iowa. She yelled at her dad. She told her dad to shut, up in the middle of a game. I mean, I don't need some of that stuff. It's okay to criticize. We don't have to just bow down and everything, but you have to recognize what a player, what a change for the league. It's now in the mainstream, and it's not about her 45-point night, which you should have watched earlier this week. It's about something controversial. Let's do some story and make it make sense. It's just out of control. The whole dialogue with Caitlin Clark and the WNBA is out of control. And I don't know where to go with it. I mean, I love watching the games. Really enjoy watching it. Like all the other players on the Fever, I'm a fan, though. So maybe I'm right in the middle of this thing, so I'm just like, I want to watch entertaining games. And I think the product, now some of you said, I just don't watch the WNBA. Well, that's correct. And the only time you hear or care about the WNBA is when all this goofy stuff, controversial stuff's happening. They didn't put the 45-point night on Good Morning America. They put the time where Alyssa Thomas had hit her in the throat, and all the controversy and all the social media abuse came that way. That's when they put it on Good Morning America. The WNBA and the players actually met about social media abuse yesterday. Like they had a meeting about, well, here's how you should deal with social media and the abuse you're getting from some of these trolls and stuff like this. It's like, guys, there's trolls. There's fake accounts. There's goofy people. Social media is not the real world. We want to think it is. So guess what? If you don't want to, if you have some concerns about some of the things, this is said to you, that's said to you, and it's egregious and it's terrible, you just have to get off of there. Somebody told me, he said, hey, you don't like the stuff you see on Facebook? Get off of there. My feed's full of this and this and this. And he told me, well, just get off of there. We all might be a little bit better. We all might have a little more joy. I would have a little more joy watching the WNBA and Caitlin Clark if I didn't see this Nancy Armour story today and all the other stuff about this and tying in that and tying in this. I mean, we reach deep on this stuff. This is basketball. Caitlin Clark's a superstar. And everybody either wants to target her or everybody just wants to crown her completely that she does nothing wrong. Come on now. Robin Lundberg's covering it. He's been in the middle of it. He's in Chicago for the WNBA All-Star Game. He wrote a book, Caitlin Clark from the Logo. So what does Robin say? He's right in the middle of this. Robin Lundberg coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right, call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
The following radio ad is Good Fun Squad approved.
My name is Jenny, and I'm the lady at the South Dakota Lottery who writes out those big checks for our winners. It's a lot of fun, but we've had so many big winners lately, my hand is tired. There was a $600,000 winner, a $2 million winner, a $4 million winner. That's a lot of zeros, and not normal zeros, big check zeros, and the winning never stops. That's why I'm learning to write with both hands.
Good fun.
Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
The action doesn't stop when the game starts.
Back at the wall. Tie game.
Wager Sportsbook and Grill is now open at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort, serving crave-worthy eats, ice-cold drinks, and non-stop energy. Dig into wings, smash burgers, and loaded bowls, then get in on the action at the BetMGM Sportsbook. Bet big, eat well, and catch every play from the front row. Learn more at CadillacJacksGaming.com. Every bite, every play, Wagers delivers.
Rev up your summer with the Stars, Stripes, and Savings event at Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Just announced employee pricing for everyone on new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500, plus 0% financing for well-qualified buyers. Need heavy-duty power? Get into a new GMC Sierra HD and save up to $3,000. Looking for the perfect SUV? We've got an incredible selection of Terrain, Acadia, Yukon, and Yukon XL ready to roll. Don't wait. Shop anytime at SpearfishMotors.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Being in business has its rewards as well as its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique, and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
What are you doing?
Just getting in the holiday spirit.
Isn't it a little early for jingle bells and Christmas in general?
It's never too early for Christmas, but Renewal by Anderson's Christmas in July sale just got me in the mood.
A window sale started all of this?
It's not just any window sale. It's Renewal by Anderson.
Okay, settle down. I'll get the ladder, and we'll get started hanging the lights.
Renewal by Anderson's Christmas in July sale. 20% off every window and door. No money, no payment, and no interest for 18 months with approved credit. This means no payments till 2028. Hurry, the holiday savings end August 15th. Hassle-free, energy-efficient, low-maintenance windows with a professional fit. Renewal by Anderson uses Fibrex windows, keeping your home cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter, and reduces your energy bill. They do windows. They're the experts. No subcontractors. For a free in-home estimate and a perfect fit, go to RBARapidCity.com. That's RBARapidCity.com. Renewal by Anderson, when only the best will do.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is live tonight. South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Radio, KWSN in Sioux Falls. Glad you're here. Also, Fox Sports Rapid City. Really appreciate you guys. Thanks for making us a part of your day. Busy show tonight. 3 guests back to back to back. We're ready to go. Let's go out to Chicago. He's set for the WNBA All-Star Game, All-Star Weekend. And boy, another controversy. I mean, it's just nonstop with Caitlin Clark and I don't know where to go. So I go to Robin Lundberg. He's been covering the WNBA and Caitlin Clark. He has a book on her, Caitlin Clark from the Logo. Great YouTube content. Find him there, Robin Lundberg on YouTube. And he's on X at Robin Lundberg, covers the WNBA. He's there in Chicago. Robin, welcome into the Nate Brown Show. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I appreciate your time. So I know we gotta talk Caitlin now. Here's the thing. I've done this show and I've been a Caitlin fan. I've taken my family the last 3 years. That's been our summer vacation. We've went on the road and we've watched Caitlin Clark games. So I'm a fan. So maybe I just can't be unbiased, but it seems as though the Caitlin Clark thing has gone from basketball, entertainment, all of the stuff that she's done well to she flops, she berates officials, she's got a bad mouth, and then this impacts even other players, African-American players, for example, and because her fans are terrible. Where has this gone?
Well, it's gone to an unhinged, not based in reality place. I mean, some of the stuff you're referencing, you are the reality. You know, what you just talked about, you're the reality. I mean, you go into the arena, you don't see none of this. You know, the record TV ratings, the new CBA, all that stuff is real and tangible. You know, the result of the growth of the league. This other stuff is because people involved in the league, media around the league, players in the league, have allowed the worst parts of the comment section to somehow shape the coverage. You know, social media is not real life, right? Like I'm wearing a shirt right now with a Jay-Z lyric on it. It says, "I'd rather die enormous than live dormant." It's from the 30th anniversary of Jay-Z's first album, Reasonable Doubt. And the reason I bring that up is because I'll take us outside of the WNBA for a second to try and make my point. You know, there's a lot of people, and this is much less like high leverage and high gravity or whatever, but there's a bunch of people online that'll be like, you know, no one checks for Jay-Z anymore, nobody knows any Jay-Z songs, or he's not relevant today. I was at Yankee Stadium, 3 straight sold-out nights. People literally broke into the stadium to try to get in on Sunday night, like real life, right? Like that's real life. 44,000 people, whatever it is, singing, rapping along to songs. Your real life inside those arenas, watching the Fever, cheering, rooting for Caitlin Clark, the basketball player. This other stuff is nonsense. It's garbage. And the column in the USA Today, Nancy Armour, I'll put her on blast by name, she should be ashamed of herself. The editors should be ashamed for allowing that to go to print. To equate Caitlin Clark in any way with Emmett Till is disgusting. It is irresponsible. And it is not based in reality. It is literally unhinged. And I don't know how the WNBA got to this place. And again, I think there are a lot of people that have helped foster this and allow that to be the case. But it's the only league I've ever seen that allows the worst fringe of social media to dictate the overall premise, the overall presence, and the overall narrative.
Why doesn't Kathy Engelbert get out and say something? I mean, maybe she's waiting for the All-Star weekend with you this weekend. She said, I don't think I've seen anything. Dan Patrick hit her a week ago, and I don't see anything from her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm positive she'll speak this weekend, but I think part of it is they're afraid. You know, like people get afraid of these. I have to censor myself with you, what I would say on my show. What do I want to call them? The keyboard warriors, the fake activists, online, the crybaby bullies. Like, and let me throw the disclaimer out there first. You know, obviously, I reject, repudiate, and fully rebuke racism, hatred, any sort of bigotry in all its forms. It's disgusting, right? Like, of course. But everybody reasonable should feel that way. With that said, you know, I think they're so afraid of even like taking common sense, strong positions because of that bullying that sort of happens. And some of the players feed into it. There's no question. Some of the players feed into it. So I think she has to manage that aspect of it too, that it's not just the outside, it's on the inside. And I think, it's just that concern of saying the wrong thing that then gets everybody to try and dunk on you online. And when you have a league where the players are going online and participating in that way, it's a tough situation. But the only way to do it is to just stand on business, right? Like you say, this is what it is. This is how we feel. This is how we're going to conduct ourselves. These are the rules. These are the parameters. This is the structure of our belief system, and you stand on business.
You know more than me. You cover it day in, day out. I watch the Fever a lot. I think it's Caitlin Clark's best week. She's like having her best week. 45 points the other night, 27-11 last night. I watched that. I watched the 45-point game. She had 10 assists and or 6 in the first quarter. And I think it might be her best week on the court. And nobody said a thing outside. You do. Like basketball people do, but then this is the story, and Dave Portnoy and everybody else, and he stood up for Caitlin, but then this is the story. It's amazing how far this has gone. Why has she become a political football?
Because one is her popularity, right? And two, look, there's a real thing to the resentment for her in the league. There's a real thing. And to the pushback and the labeling of her fans and the narrative that gets painted. So you get that. And then I do think sometimes, the narrative gets hijacked there. Like, whenever she does something good, somebody goes and says something about what somebody said online or whatever, and that takes away from it. Or one of these columns drops, and, that takes away from it. And people have used her for their own agendas. Of course, there have been, whatever MAGA, whatever you want to call it, or right-wing pundits or whatever that take advantage of it because she gets clicks. Just like on the other side, there's the the people who find everything racist who are getting mad about it, and they just, no matter what, whether they're her biggest supporter or her biggest hater, they can't keep her name out their mouth.
Yes.
And they know the deal. Even like when people are trying to make comparisons about other WNBA players, there are a lot of. This is the irony of it. The WNBA is a great product. There's a lot of great players. The basketball is really good. But even on a less heavy sense, you hardly ever see another player get bigged up without them then going, well, she's what that come from? Can't you just talk about Paige Becker's show?
I know, it's wild. Robin Lundberg is on tonight from Chicago, covers the WNBA, and Caitlin Clark, he's there for All-Star Weekend. So let me ask you on this. Will the players come around to Caitlin? And I'm not saying everybody hates her, but I say it's jealousy. They don't see the contracts and the money and the planes and all of that stuff, that the transformation that's happened. Will players come around to being rivals with Caitlin, but still respecting Caitlin?
I think the up-and-coming players, I don't think it's an issue. I think it's more like the old guard players, but they seem entrenched, and it even seems like to go into the Players Association and stuff like that. So I would have thought it would be over after 2024, to be honest with you. So I'm not going to sit here and say with full confidence it'll just go. But over time, I think it will, because I do think the players that are coming in the NIL era from college, some of the young players in the league now, they're not handling it the same way that some of the players that have been around and were there before the ban blew up, or who maybe feel a little resentful that they didn't get this attention and it took her to do that, whatever the case may be. They're the ones who seem to be having a harder time with it.
Robin, would you say one thing about Caitlin is the complaining, the bombs, the this and that? I mean, she just got her 7th technical last night. One more, she's suspended for a game. Is that something that is a fault of hers?
Sure. I mean, look, Caitlin's not beyond critique, but a lot of players complain too much. Luka Doncic complains too much playing basketball, right? It doesn't become something we're waiting for Congress to address, or whatever the case may be. And the tech last night was kind of BS. She just told Rivers to look at the scoreboard. I didn't think that was, but yeah, of course. I think Caitlin has gotten a little frustrated because she doesn't get calls, like I'm pretty plainly over the course of the years, and that's boiled over. And then she's just a person too. Like, this has to weigh on her at some point, as good as she is at blocking out the noise. But yeah, of course. I mean, just like with anybody else, you could question shot selection, you could question effort on defense or whatever, or you could say, hey, maybe you'll get better calls if you don't berate the referees. All that's fair game. It just gets so blown out of proportion.
Robin Lundberg, couple more quick ones. I'll let him run. He's doing a TV hit coming up. He's live in Chicago. Check him out on YouTube. The Robin Lundberg. Great content on Caitlin and the WNBA. How do you think she's playing? I thought it was her best week. This is a huge week after the back issues. What do you think she looks like right now?
Yeah, I mean, look, when Caitlin's cooking, she's the best player that's ever stepped on the floor. I mean, that's what I really believe, if you want me to be honest with you. She hasn't done it consistently enough to earn that label, and obviously she hasn't done it long enough to earn a label like that. And you're right, it was the injuries and the minutes restrictions and getting back into a rhythm. But when she's been at full strength, I mean, there's a reason she is who she is, and it's basketball. That's why she is who she is.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. She ain't break the all-time scoring record for no reason. She didn't lead the country in points and assists for no reason. She wasn't first team All-WNBA as a rookie for no reason. Fourth in MVP voting as a rookie for no reason. The first ever 40-10 game in WNBA history for no reason just last week. So she looks great.
All right, last one, a side note. You've been in the media a long time. You were at ESPN back in the day. What's your read on ESPN shifts? Some long-time voices, some big-time names out the door and shifting to huge personalities, the debate shows. Where's ESPN in this landscape?
Yeah, I don't think this last round of cuts said too much. I think the Ryan Clark thing was so high-profile in the way it went down was brutal and rough, and nobody likes to see that. But look, dude, I was a part of one of these in 2017. So if with ESPN, so it's not the first rodeo. It happened again, I think, just a couple years ago. I mean, this is just like corporate America. I didn't see anything in these specific cuts that made me think it signaled a different direction. They'd already dropped off a giant bag to Stephen A. and Pat McAfee.
Yeah. Robin Lundberg on tonight. Find him at Robin Lundberg on X, YouTube as well. The content, the channel, subscribe. We'd appreciate it. Robin, good to have you. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Have a good one.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Robin Lundberg from Chicago, WNBA All-Star Weekend coming up. His book is Caitlin Clark from the Logo, and his YouTube channel is The Robin Lundberg. Great content on the WNBA. He's been with Sports Illustrated, ESPN over the years. Now on his own, creating content. Robin Lundberg live tonight from Chicago. That's good stuff from him. That's really good stuff. And yeah, I mean, he's covered Caitlin and all of that, but he talked about the basketball, and nobody talks about the basketball. Everybody thinks Caitlin's just been crowned just because of who she is, and people only favor her and support her. She's unbelievable. She's had some injuries, taking her down a little bit, but she's unbelievable. 45 points, 10 assists the other night. I watched that one. That was a highly rated game as well on CBS. That was highly rated. 3 million people. I mean, she's the one that gets that. And then 27 and 11 last night. So the basketball's great. The dialogue is just totally out of control. And I'm curious to see what Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, will say this weekend. So stay tuned. All-Star Weekend coming up. Coming right back, let's go down to the SEC. Ryan Brown covers Alabama and Kalen DeBoer. And I'm going to ask Ryan a couple of questions on Kalen, plus who would be the SEC Villain Coach of the Year. A little college football with Ryan Brown live coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
If you're grilling this weekend, be sure to have plenty of Village Hearth buns on hand. Fancy equipment and secret sauces are great, but once you've mastered the basics, it's all about the bun. Your perfectly grilled burgers and hot dogs deserve the best, and with several varieties to choose from, including unsliced old-fashioned, classic white or wheat, country potato, and mini sliders, the bakers of Village Hearth have the buns your family will love. Village Hearth buns, locally baked and delivered fresh daily.
Mom, can we please go to Waitiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Waitiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waitiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaitikiWaterPark.com.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly clear tonight with a slight chance for isolated storms. Lows around 64, south winds around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 99. Mainly clear tomorrow night, 73. Temperatures well above average Saturday and Sunday with highs near 105. Slight chance for storms Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 70.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger? Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
Don't shop what's left, shop what's coming. New Toyotas are arriving daily at Denny Menlo Toyota. Reserve your next Toyota before it ever hits the lot. Plus, qualified buyers can get 5.49% APR financing for 72 months on select Toyota certified used Camrys and Corollas. We're paying top dollar for clean used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Experience the fast, friendly, and fair way to buy or sell your vehicle at Denny Menlo Toyota or DennyMenloToyota.com. $16.33 per finance regardless of down with qualified credit. Expires 8/31/2026.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Oh, welcome back in. You haven't heard that song for a while, right? You've got it here. That's why you tune in. The tracks. I did get a listener text. I've got numerous texts. I've got some tracks here. I'm in charge of the tracks. Do you guys know that? I'm in charge of the tracks. So just so you know, you can blame me or compliment me. Okay? The Nate Brown Show live across the state of South Dakota on Fox Sports Radio. Our affiliates, Fox Sports Rapid City and East River, KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Welcome in. Ryan Brown's back on. SEC Media Days just wrapping up. Headlines out of there. Let's go to him. He's co-hosts the show Next Round Live. It's a great show. I check it out a lot. It's good stuff. Follow Kalen DeBoer and the, of course, South Dakota connection there. Next Round Live. Ryan, welcome in. How are you?
Man, I am awesome. How are you, Nate? Have you ever seen Def Leppard in concert? I've heard they're incredible.
I have not. They've been to the Sturgis rally numerous times, and I have not. That's a big miss.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. They're supposed to still be really, really good.
Okay, let's put that one on the docket before we get too old. Okay, man, I've got to ask you, SEC Media Days wrapping up. The headline that I want to ask you about is Kalen DeBoer being asked by one of your teammates, will his time at Alabama be defined by if he wins a national championship or not? He said, pretty much, yeah. What's the feeling?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that that's the case. I think when you look at being the coach at Alabama, that's always the expectation. I mean, if you go back and look at the history of Alabama coaches, you're either a national champion coach or you're considered a failure. So if you take the job at Alabama, I mean, I think you accept the fact that your expectation is win a national championship or you're going to be considered a failure. And I would hope Kalen DeBoer knew that by taking the Bama job. I would think he knows college football well enough to know that, and he knew who he was following in Nick Saban. So, I mean, I think that is a legitimate answer, is that you either win a national championship or you're a failure at Alabama.
What's the feeling like in Alabama right now? You do your show there, so many Tide fans there. South Dakotans want to know, we hear that Caitlin might not be liked. Maybe he's not a good fit. He did okay. What's the feeling like going into this year? Still there? Maybe?
My apologies. I accidentally hit the mute button. I didn't mean to do that. My apologies.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think Kalen DeBoer, the person, is well liked. I think people like Kalen DeBoer. And they think he's a good dude. They think he's a very nice guy. But I think there are a lot of Alabama fans that wonder if he has enough of a hard edge to be the Alabama head coach. And that is 100% because of Nick Saban. I mean, without Nick Saban there, I don't know if Alabama fans would think that. But Nick Saban had the hard edge. And I think Alabama fans wonder if Kalen DeBoer's got the hard edge enough to be a-hole enough to be the Alabama football coach, honestly.
Wow.
And I think that's the concern. Yeah, I think that's the concern Alabama fans have.
So there is doubt. There is doubt in the fan base right now starting.
Sure.
Okay.
100% there's doubt. That is not debatable. I mean, Alabama fans doubt if he can get this done. In 2 years, he's missed the playoffs 1 year. He's won a playoff game and then got blasted in the Rose Bowl by Indiana. Alabama has not. Alabama fan standard is above that. They don't think you should ever get blasted by anyone, much less Indiana, as good as they are. And one win in the playoffs is not enough. So the fans definitely doubt that he could get it done. With that said, I don't think they dislike Kalen DeBoer. I just think they think he's not Nick Saban, which he's not. And that's the unfair thing for Kalen DeBoer is one of the audience members of our show said this, and it's so true. Every coach in America, every other coach in America gets compared to their peers. Kalen DeBoer gets compared to Nick Saban. And that is an impossible comparison. There was not a coach in America, maybe other than Kirby Smart, that you could have gone and hired and dropped him in Tuscaloosa and he would have any sort of comparison to Nick Saban. Not another coach. Kirby Smart's probably the only one. So any other coach was going to fall short of that comparison.
Ryan Brown's on tonight from Next Round Live. Great show. Based in Alabama. Covers the Tide and more. Find him on X at Ryan Brown Live. Good to have him talking Kalen DeBoer and SEC Media Days just wrapped up. So Nick Saban just said the job he has, Kalen, he said, it's a hard job. It's a hard job. What do you think he means?
Well, I think Nick Saban knows. I think he is. If there's anyone that's intimately aware how high the expectations are for Alabama's football team, it is Nick Saban. Even as much success as he had, the fans were never unhappy with Nick Saban. But if they did not win a national championship or even an SEC championship, it was considered a failure, even when Nick Saban is the head coach. I mean, you go back to some of the better teams he had, 2010. They had just won the 2009 national championship. The 2010 team was better, and they finished 10-3. It is still brought up today as a huge disappointment. You go to 2013, the kick six at Jordan-Hare Stadium against Auburn in the Iron Bowl. He had probably another national championship team there, and Alabama fans, that still gets brought up today like, that would have been 3 straight national championships. They just find a way to beat Auburn. The next year, 2014, they're up 20-6 on Ohio State in the college football playoff, and they blow that lead. And Ohio State goes on to win the national championship. That still gets brought up today. 2019, now Tua gets hurt in 2019, so he gets a little bit of a break there. And I'm not saying those are people that are upset at Nick Saban, but those teams still get brought up today as teams that, and Nick Saban himself, I think, said today, I did not hear this, I read it, on the SEC Network, that the 2019 team was his best team. And that was the team that did not win the national championship. Tua got hurt, to be fair, in the Mississippi State game, but they had already lost to LSU, who eventually won the national championship in Bryant-Denny Stadium. So that team, as good as it was, is considered a bit of a disappointment.
So if you're talking national championship is the definition of Kalen DeBoer's success, and he admitted that yesterday. I had a writer come on yesterday, covers college football for USA Today, and he said, I think Alabama's going to miss the playoff this year with what I'm seeing. He goes, I think they miss with quarterback question mark and some of that. So if he misses the playoff, what happens?
He's not fired because he just signed a contract extension because the Michigan job was open and Jimmy Sexton convinced Alabama that Kalen DeBoer was a strong candidate for Michigan and they might take the job. So his buyout is too large. He's not going to be fired.
Okay.
But I cannot put into words how hot the seat will be. The Alabama fan unrest will be as high as it has been since pre-Nick Saban. And his approval rating, if they miss the playoffs, I would guess would be somewhere 10 to 20%, maybe.
Is that right? Wow. Yeah, I suppose.
Man, this is a tough place. It's a tough place to be a head coach.
Yeah.
Alabama fans, nobody's won more national championships than Alabama. Very few teams have won more games than Alabama. We don't have a pro team here. We only have Alabama and Auburn. And Alabama is your primo program in this state. And I know we've only got 5 million people in this state, but they all love college football. And the majority of them, whatever that percentage is, loves Alabama football. And it's 365 days a year. People live for football season. And if the football season gets derailed, it ruins their year. I mean, that's just honestly the way it is here.
Yeah. Kalen DeBoer from South Dakota under a microscope. We're talking to Ryan Brown. Last one. Let's. I saw you guys throwing this around on Next Round Live. Who is the villain? Who is the coach that's the biggest villain in the SEC? Is it Lane Kiffin? I mean, who is it?
I think Lane Kiffin is probably the answer. He's at some point he has upset every fan base in the SEC. And now he's the coach at LSU, which is only going to make you, if you're the coach at Ole Miss doing that, you're almost likable. You're almost the likable villain, if that makes any sense. But if you're the coach at LSU doing it, nobody's going to like you.
Okay.
So now that he's the coach at LSU, I would definitely say Lane Kiffin is the biggest villain in the Southeastern Conference.
All right, SEC, will they ever break away, Ryan Brown? It was thrown around again that we might have to break away. Do you see that?
No, I think it's just positioning to maybe bring this college football playoff talk back to even ground. I think Greg Sankey probably has lost a little bit of ground in this and his desires for the college football playoff. So you start beating the drum of, okay, we're just going to do our own thing. And you hope maybe everybody's like, okay, all right, let's get cooler heads. Let's talk about this. And then maybe it gives you a little leverage at the negotiating table. I don't think there's a desire to do it. Though I will say, when asked about it, Kirby Smart said, oh, I've been at that position for a long time. So he agreed with Greg Sankey and said he was already there.
Wow.
So you have at least one prominent coach in your corner if you're Greg Sankey. But I don't think we're quite there yet. I think this might be a little bit of positioning for college football playoff negotiating power.
Ryan Brown covers Bama. Kalen DeBoer will be plugged in. The show is Next Round Live. They have a great crew there on YouTube. You can catch them. Find them on X at Ryan Brown Live. Ryan, good to have you. Thanks for hopping in. I appreciate it.
Always, Dave. Thank you, buddy. Good talking with you.
Thanks a lot. Ryan Brown here on South Dakota Sports Talk Show talking SEC. Kalen DeBoer. Next Round Live is the show based there in Alabama, covers the Tide. So if the Tide have a bad season, it gets derailed, everybody blames Kalen DeBoer, and then they have a bad year in their personal life. I like the passion. Oh, Kalen DeBoer from South Dakota, long way away from his time at Sioux Falls. Long way away. It's interesting. Some people would say, Kalen, did he make a mistake going to Alabama? How can you say that? This is the premier program. So somebody knocks down your door and say, hey, we want to give you the Alabama job. You've done a great job at Washington. We want to give you the Alabama job. What are you going to do? But, yeah, I get it. It's a pressure cooker. It's just off the charts. So his time in Alabama will be defined by success or not, national championship, that's it. He just had a big contract extension. Just had it. Now people are saying, he's still under the microscope, under pressure. Let's watch Alabama this year. I always got an eye on him now with DeBoer down there. Always have an eye on him. Into the second hour of the Nate Brown Show tonight, I have something I want to discuss from my home state. Okay, and this also ties in here to South Dakota. So I've lived in Montana and South Dakota most of my life. Okay, born and raised Montana. Spent the last 26 years here in South Dakota, and this is interesting news coming out of Billings, Montana, and I think it's very similar in Sioux Falls and Rapid City when it comes to sports facilities. And if a city owns it, what should they do with sports facilities? I'm going to get into that discussion. A story out of Billings coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Serious DIYers know when it comes to brake jobs, quality matters. Now through August 31st, buy a set of Perfect Stop brake pads at your local Auto Value Parts store and receive a free can of brake cleaner. Perfect Stop brake pads are engineered to restore optimal braking performance while delivering quiet, dependable stopping power. Stop by your local Auto Value Parts store today, where we've got the parts, we've got the smarts, and your free can of brake cleaner too.
Certified Honda value has never looked better at Denny Manhole Rushmore Honda. Take advantage of 1.99% APR financing on select Honda certified pre-owned. Choose from Honda Civics, Accords, HRVs, and CRVs. That's 1.99% APR financing on our Honda certified pre-owned. Shop a huge selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs with over 370 to choose from. Drive with certified confidence at Denny Manhole Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Length of finance contract is limited with qualified credit. Expires 7/31/26.
If you think all shoe stores are the same, you haven't walked into Trav's Outfitter. We have the biggest selection of footwear anywhere. In fact, we dare you to compare. At Trav's, you don't have to sell yourself a pair of shoes. Our team helps you find the right fit for your lifestyle. We may be the newest name on the block in Rapid, but we've been in this game for over 40 years. Come find us in the old Kmart building. Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Hanging with Brian from Anytime Auto Sales. I see new models of stand-up and teardrop campers on your lot.
Yes, you do. We're proud to feature the new SGC Armor line of campers from Bontrager Outdoors. Bang for the buck, there's just nothing out there like these new super cool Armor campers and Bontrager teardrops.
And the suspension these campers have? Wow, so impressive.
All our campers come standard with the off-road package. Bontrager and Armor just ramped boondocking up another notch. And right now, you'll get the best price all year on these 2026 ultra-light, ultra-beefy, option-loaded campers and teardrops.
You gotta check out these new look campers, people. The new designs are fantastic, and so many options for their size.
And so many options for towing. No need for a diesel or a big truck. These only weigh around 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, so they can be towed by almost any rig.
Check out these new 2026 Bontrager and SGC Armor campers, everyone. See AnytimeAnytime.com, and as always, at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
One more time. This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, we are live. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. It's always a great day in South Dakota. Welcome in Thursday edition of the program. You've got us on Fox Sports Radio. Great stations, KWSN Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. The best lineup right here. From Dan in the morning to Colin, and of course, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. 2 hours, thought-provoking sports talk, and you can be part of the action. Welcome in. 605-720-1067. Put that number in. It's the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch. 2 great locations, East River, locally owned and operated. The Pizza Ranch is at East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon, home of everyone's favorite buffet. It's the best, no doubt. Best buffet in town. Hit the Pizza Ranch and hit us on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, 605-720-1067. One more place. Text line always open. Text the show. It comes right in here on the app. You've got us. Barron's Wilson text line for you, 605-720-1067. 2 great guests coming up. Hang on. Gary Sharp live from Omaha talking Big Ten. A little bit of Huskers. Is Matt Rule on the hot seat? Anybody? Raise your hand. Careful driving. Raise your hand. Is Matt Rule on the hot seat? He was not on a prominent college football hot seat list. How can Matt Rule not be on the hot seat? Am I off on this? Gary Sharp's coming up. Omaha.com, Omaha World Herald. Zach Borg's on the way from Midwest Sports Plus. Talk a little Legion baseball action and more. Zach Borg is coming up. Legion Baseball State Tournament next week. Fitzgerald Stadium in Rapid City. Speaking of stadiums and city-owned stadiums, that's where I want to go tonight. I want to get into the second question of the day if you're just joining us. So there's a story out of my home state, Montana. Biggest city in Montana is Billings, okay? And I went to Billings Mustangs games when I was a kid. I don't know how many. I went to so many Billings Mustangs baseball games, make your head spin. That was my thing, man. That was summer in Montana with Nate Brown. I took my buddy down there. We went with my parents. We went with grandparents. We got to know the players. We went down to the bullpen and started looking through the fence and got autographs. This was when the Billings Mustangs were the Cincinnati Reds affiliate. Okay? This is when the Cincinnati Reds affiliate. And they had Aaron Boone came through there. So, I mean, it was just awesome. Why do I mention the Billings Mustangs? You're listening to the Nate Brown Show in South Dakota. You're like, who cares? Well, the Billings Mustangs are still in existence as a minor league baseball team, but now they're not affiliated with a pro team. So Major League Baseball kind of switched some things around. So that was kind of a hit to the Mustangs, I believe, in Billings, Montana. When you're affiliated with a pro team, the Reds, like I said, I saw some great guys. Adam Dunn, Aaron Boone. I mean, the list goes on. I can't go through all of them, but I saw some great guys coming through Rookie Ball League. Their first stop was Billings Mustangs. Now they're not affiliated. And so I would tell you, I haven't been there a lot. I haven't been to a Billings Mustang game in a long time. I better put that on my list. But take my kids, nostalgia, right? They probably think, what is that? What? I used to come to these games back in the day. Billings Mustangs rent a city-owned stadium. Now, this is tying in with Sioux Falls. This is tying in with Rapid City. Same type of arrangement. So the city of Billings, Montana, gets $60,000 a year on a lease from the Billings Mustangs. Okay? They've had that for a 10-year deal, just the last decade. Well, the city of Billings just released this week, they're going to raise the lease on the Billings Mustangs. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think the Mustangs are doing as well as they used to back in the day. That's my guess. Now, Dealer Park is the name of this park. It's a nice stadium. It's a nice stadium. minor league baseball and stuff. It's good stuff. And they still have a league they play in with Ogden, Utah, and some of these teams. So it's still legit. But how about this lease? So Billings Mustangs were paying the city of Billings because they own the ballpark. The city does. They get $60,000 a year. The city's now requesting $172,000 a year. What? Huh? You thought your office lease just went up. The city of Billings said, we want to keep the Mustangs. They're great for our community, and kids get to watch, and families. It's great summertime activity in Billings, Montana. But we need $172K on the lease. We're going to raise it from $60 to $172. And the city wants a cut of sponsorship revenue from the signage in the outfield. They want a cut of the concessions every game. Oh, boy. So let's tie this in. I couldn't tell you how much the Canaries pay the city of Sioux Falls. I was doing a little investigating, but I couldn't tell you that number I could not see, but same story. City of Sioux Falls owns the Birdcage. The Canaries ownership group leases for the games. Let's go to Rapid City. Post 22 baseball. Do they have the nicest Legion Stadium in the country? I'm not kidding when I say that, guys. Hosting the state tournament next week. I mean, if you haven't been to Post 22 Stadium, Legion Baseball, it's special. It's a nice stadium. They just put $5 million into it 6 years ago. So this is a nice, same thing. City owns that stadium. So these cities own these facilities. And I'm talking baseball because it's summertime, so it's so interesting. My question to you is, does the city of Billings, the city of Sioux Falls, the city of Rapid City, do they have to give a break to these organizations? That's my question of the day. We're talking small market teams. We're talking from minor leagues to Legion. We're still talking teams that, they try and get some revenue and try to make sure it ends meet and the whole thing. Do you think small market cities should bend a little bit when it comes to leases for sports teams in their city-owned stadiums? For example, Rapid City Rush are in the ice arena in Rapid City. The city owns that. They've had to negotiate terms like, hey, what are we going to do on the lease for the ice arena? Well, you don't want the Rush to not be there because then it's going to sit empty. So you got to play these games like, well, we can't give it to you for free. Maybe we're going to have to get some concessions. We want the team to still do well. It's a fine line. Let me ask you that question of the day. Should small market cities, which owns ballparks and arenas, for example, do they have a community obligation to give a good deal to sports teams? We're talking small market cities, the Billings, Montanas, the Sioux Falls, Rapid City, South Dakotas of the world. Do you think the city needs to say, hey, we can't go from $60K for the Billings Mustangs a year and then go to $172? You just come up with $100,000. It's no problem. It's only $100,000. Yeah, for the Billings Mustangs, it's like, well, okay. And then you think about like the Storm. That's an example. Sioux Falls Storm cease operations. Now, you're not talking like city-owned per se, but you're talking the Premier Center. There's some play there. It's like, should the Premier Center, what should they do when it comes to a community sports team? I'm asking you tell me, where does the city obligation? They own the Birdcage, for example. They own Post 22's Fitzgerald Stadium. Does a city have an obligation to give their local teams a good deal to keep the teams going? That's my question of the day. Yes, the city can bend, or no, the teams need to pay up like any other organization. What's your vote? 605-720-1067. So far on X, the poll is up. 53% are voting the city needs to bend and give a good deal to local teams. 47% city hold firm, teams need to pay up. That's a tough one. It is a tough one. Here's the secret. These minor league sports teams make zero money. People think, Well, somebody owns the Storm, they're making money, and I don't know, think about it. The Billings Outlaws way back in the day, the indoor football team in Billings, they're all making money. These minor league teams don't make anything. They make nothing. And so if I'm the city of Billings, I got to take a step back. I better put in a call up there in my home state in Montana. You're going to take my Billings Mustangs from $60,000 a year to $172,000, and then you want the concessions and the sponsorship signage? What's the budget look like in Billings? I think you do have a little obligation to make a deal with local teams. I think you do. Gary Sharp's in next. You tell me. 605-720-1067 on the text line. Gary Sharp from Nebraska. Is Matt Rule on the hot seat? He didn't make a long list of college football coaches on the hot seat this week. What does Gary say next?
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Save big money when you shop at Menards. Transform your home in one weekend with exterior wood stain and sealer from Dutch Boy. It provides one-coat protection on decks, fences, siding, and outdoor furniture. It repels rain after just 4 hours of application. That means quicker results, saving you both time and money. Our knowledgeable team is ready to help bring your dreams to life, 1 gallon at a time. Stop by your local Menards today.
Save big money at Menards.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
At Dakota Discount RV, we're in it for the long haul, just like you. Whether it's cross-country adventures, weekends by the lake, or family time under the stars, we're here to keep you rolling for years to come. While others are packing up, we're doubling down with dependable service, great prices, and the biggest selection in the region. Your journey doesn't stop here, and neither do we. Here tomorrow, here for every mile ahead. Visit us in Rapid City or Somerset or online at DakotaDiscountRV.com.
If you're a business owner, you've invested your blood, sweat, and tears into your business. Long days, sleepless nights, all to build something that matters. But what if something happened to you tomorrow? What happens to everything you've built? Do you have a plan? Does your family have a plan? Contact Lee Cruz with New York Life right here in Rapid City. There are affordable options you maybe haven't considered. Just spend 15 minutes protecting what took you years to build. Call Lee Cruz, 605-360-8804, or Google Lee Cruz New York Live.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly clear tonight with a slight chance for isolated storms. Lows around 64, south winds around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 99. Mainly clear tomorrow night, 73. Temperatures well above average Saturday and Sunday with highs near 105. Slight chance for storms Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 71 degrees.
Play at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort this summer, and you'll qualify for $25,000 Sizzling Saturdays. 3 players will be drawn every Saturday to grab their share of $25,000 in cash and prizes. Play with your clubhouse card and earn entries automatically. There are loads of prizes, including up to $5,000 cash, and this month's featured prize, an infrared sauna valued at $3,500. It's all happening at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort in downtown Deadwood. Learn more at tinlizzy.com.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards. Find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. Glad you're here. Fox Sports Radio in Sioux Falls on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, and here on Fox Sports Rapid City, our home base. Appreciate you being here. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live. Gary Sharp is in from Nebraska. Getting set for Big Ten Media Days coming up, huh? Yeah, Huskers coming up soon. We're almost there. August is almost here. Omaha.com for the coverage, part of the Omaha World Herald team. Gary, welcome in. I have to ask you something here. My question of the day is, should small market cities, so I'm talking like, I don't know, Sioux Falls, the city owns the birdcage there for the Canaries. Rapid City owns Fitzgerald Stadium, big Legion program, huge, great stadium, post-22 baseball. City of Billings, Montana owns the stadium for the Billings Mustangs. Should cities give a good deal? Do they have an obligation to give a good deal leasing it to teams in those markets?
Obligation might be the wrong word, in my opinion, but I think if you can see the financial benefits of traffic into the stadium, and then the thing is, we see in a little bit larger markets, is can you turn that into building the area up around the ballpark or around the stadium? Everybody wants to make it like a village, like what started in Foxborough, kind of what they talked about in Kansas City, those kind of things. I wouldn't say obligation, but I think, sometimes you're held hostage if a team threatens to leave because it can be a financial benefit to you. I think it also depends on how financially savvy the city is, but there is no doubt if you do it the right way, those kind of opportunities, entertainment opportunities, can be very fruitful for communities, especially like the size of Sioux Falls and what they're doing with the Canaries. Now, the thing changes in Sioux Falls if they could ever get a ballpark downtown away from their current location across the street from the Denny.
Yeah, so how about this one? Billings, Montana has the Billings Mustangs, and they used to be affiliated with the Reds. I used to watch them growing up every summer. It was great. They have a lease for $60,000 a year for this stadium, Dealer Park. That's just wrapped up over the past 10 years. City of Billings is going from $60,000 a year. They're requesting $172,000. So for a minor league team, Is that a stretch? Is that a stretch?
Yeah, that's a major jump. I mean, to go from 60 to 170 plus, and also you're not affiliated. Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a steep hill.
I thought that was interesting. How much benefit does the city need to give to a local sports team for a lease? 55% of my audience votes the city needs to bend. 55% say the city needs to bend if they can. Gary Sharp on tonight. He covers baseball and the whole scene. Let's go Huskers. I saw the list from On3.com. On3 put out their coaches on the hot seat. College football coaches on the hot seat. I'm looking through it. Wait, where's Matt Rule? He's not even on there. So he's ready to roll it. What do you think?
Well, reason he's not on there is because of the extension he got last year prior to the USC game, that it would be financial malpractice if Nebraska fired him on what they would owe him. So you've attached, the athletic director who was part of giving him the extension when the whole Penn State stuff came up last year. You kind of attached your legacy to Matt Rule, so they're going to ride and die with him. And we'll see going into year number 4, where it has been, you and I have talked, Nate, it's been so quiet around here. They've flown under the radar, and that's kind of intentional. We'll see next week. I think Nebraska will continue to be boring in the offseason next week when we talk to 18 teams in 3 days in Chicago.
Okay, Big Ten Media Days coming up, so Matt Rule's not on the hot seat. You say it's just because of that contract. So tell me this. I just had a guy on from Alabama, covers Kalen DeBoer now at Alabama. Same story there. He said, if Kalen doesn't make the playoff, he's in big trouble, but he won't be fired. He got an extension last year. Matt Rule, he hasn't done a ton, but he got an extension. Why are ADs doing this? Do they get pressured from, well, Kalen's going to go to Michigan, Matt Rule's going to go to Penn State? Is that it?
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it, Nate. The situation here is Nebraska at the time, when they started to talk about the extension last October, Nebraska was playing pretty well. And you're like, okay, here's that year 3 bump that Rule has been known for. And then right before the USC game, it's announced publicly, and then the bottom kind of fell out. Your quarterback gets hurt. He's out for the year. You only win one more game the rest of the year. But you don't want to lose a guy you have faith in. And especially here, Alabama and Nebraska are on different levels, but they still have the same passion. Are you really going to move on from a guy that's only been here for 3 years? So sometimes another school gets your coach a raise, and then you're stuck with it, and you hope that it, pans out that the extension was the smart thing and you were successful. I think a lot of times extensions are just a piece of paper, but nowadays there's so much money attached to those extensions, and if you fire somebody, there will be lawyers, there's agents that are doing well, and you get hamstrung, and you just cross your fingers and hope, gosh, have that one magical year where that extension, which I got raked over the coals for, is, man, you are the smartest AD ever.
Yeah. Give me the Gary Sharp real read of the Huskers at Big Ten Media Day starts. What is everybody going to be saying at Big Ten Media Days about Husker football?
Hardly anything, Nate. And it's just, they're not taking their quarterback, Anthony Calandria, which kind of their whole season is based around their success and being different on that side of the football. I think Nebraska is going to be really kind of an afterthought. They're on the same day as Cignetti in Indiana, and so that'll suck a lot of the oxygen out of the room, and rightfully so, because they're the defending national champs. I don't think a lot of people will be talking about Nebraska. They're kind of like, I think they're going to be 6-6. They got a tough schedule. I say they have the best roster. He has the best staff in 4 years. And even with this schedule, which is always going to be tough in the Big Ten, if you're not able to find a way to get to 7, which would match their win total the last 2 years, I think you got to go, man, is this really working? Because I think they're better on offense with the offensive line and their quarterback and what he'll do to their offense, that they'll find a way to win games. My biggest fear will be, can they coach on Saturday? And that's been Rhule's issue. But I think in Chicago, Nebraska football will kind of be an afterthought. And actually, it might be okay compared to the last few years where everybody was talking about this off-season Kool-Aid drinking hype.
All right, Calandria QP transferred in from UNLV. I watched him a lot. It'll be interesting to see if he translates to the Big Ten and the Huskers. Gary Sharp's on from Omaha World Herald, omaha.com. I want your opinion on this story yesterday. The NCAA's up there on Capitol Hill. They're talking about a lot of stuff, trying to get the Protect College Sports Act and that whole thing. That's not going to happen, it looks like, here in the summer.
Yeah.
But the NCAA wants to ban the prediction markets. So I got a text from somebody in Omaha, Gary, okay? This guy, he listens to my show all the way there in Omaha, and he said, hey, do you know that I can bet right here on my phone? It's banned in Nebraska, but I can do this prediction bet. It's on FanDuel. I said, what? Yeah, you could do it. Nebraska, South Dakota, where you can't bet technically on mobile devices, but you can do the predictive markets. So I can do Nebraska prop bets on players and all sorts of stuff. The NCAA wants to shut that down. What's your opinion on that?
I think prop bets are scary for college athletics. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it in professional baseball and the NBA and Major League Baseball. I think it's even scarier with prop bets when it comes to college athletics, because there's a way to manipulate games easier off the prop bet market. Now, I will say this, with legalized gambling becoming more prevalent, it's easier to catch people, but I think the prop bets is something that I would be frightened about if I was an athletic director.
I wonder if they can get into that, Gary. I really do. I don't know what it's going to take. Can you just take college sports out of the prediction market? I mean, there's so much money involved now. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you talk about money. What happens if, let's say, Polymarket comes to, let's say, Clemson, and they want to do a jersey patch, and they're going to give you a lot of money, game-changing, roster-changing money. Do you say no? I mean, I think there's probably some athletic departments that will have that question come up, but it's scary, and it's not just sports, it's other things. But I think if you're an athletic director, the prop bets are the one that you're fighting against. Well, on the side, you're probably you're probably finding a way to have that other DraftKings and FanDuel and that kind of stuff filter in where you get a little money off that.
All right, Gary Sharp's on tonight. Last one, Michigan spent about $12 million on a law firm to investigate themselves, their athletic department, to see what was missing. The report was No widespread misconduct. It's not widespread, Gary, but enough that, there was a few accountability things and some of that stuff. Yeah, we're not going to say too much. Our AD is going to be done at the end of the year. What should we think?
Well, I wonder if the Michigan fan, I think there's probably some validity to that. Jim Harbaugh left a trail when he left there, including the former Michigan coach that he left behind to take over the job. I don't think, if you look at their other sports and you just got a guy like Dusty May, I don't think it's widespread, so I agree about that. But there's got to be a fall guy for this. I wonder this, Nate, and maybe this is a question down the road, or you've already asked it to your audience. If you're a Michigan fan, was it worth it? I'm going to say you're going to go yes, because we got a football and a men's basketball national championship in the last couple of years. It's funny. Michigan used to make fun of Ohio State and their transgressions. Yeah. Now look what's happening. But they both have championships recently.
Isn't that something? $12 million investigation of their own athletic department and no written report. We'll just move on to Michigan football here in a month. Big Ten Media Days next week. Huskers coverage. Gary Sharp and the team. Omaha.com. Omaha World Herald. I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
Hey, always a big one. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Gary Sharp on tonight. Omaha.com. Part of the Omaha World Herald sports team. Good stuff, Gary. All right. Zach Borg is next. We're rolling on a Thursday night. Talking South Dakota sports, maybe a little Legion baseball state tournament. How about Zach Borg, Midwest Sports Plus, coming up?
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right, call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Do you have constant constipation, diarrhea, or heartburn? Those symptoms aren't normal. At Sanford Health Tower Road Clinic, we can help you find lasting relief with personalized care. Our digestive health experts treat a wide range of concerns, including stomach pain, Crohn's disease, and acid reflux. We can also help with important preventive care like regular colonoscopies. Our growing team is available close to home in Rapid City, and we're accepting new patients. Visit sanfordhealth.org for total digestive care.
Don't shop what's left, shop what's coming. New Toyotas are arriving daily at Denny Menlo Toyota. Reserve your next Toyota before it ever hits the lot. Plus, qualified buyers can get 5.49% APR financing for 72 months on select Toyota certified used Camrys and Corollas. We're paying top dollar for clean used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Experience the fast, friendly, and fair way to buy or sell your vehicle at Denny Menlo Toyota or DennyMenloToyota.com. $1,633 per finance regardless of down with qualified credit. Expires 8/31/2026.
Since 1928, Connect Home Center has been proud to serve Rapid City and Spearfish with quality products and customer service that you can trust. In 2000, Connect joined the Mead Lumber family, and now they're taking the next step into their journey. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name from design to finish. Mead Lumber is here for you, as they've always been. MeadLumber.com.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker, Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
Ever since Barron's Wilson Funeral Home first opened their doors in Rapid City 140 years ago, they have continued to make personal service their number one priority. In your time of grief, they offer a personal touch by being at your side through every step of the funeral process. They answer difficult questions and guide you toward other professional services you may need. See for yourself the wide variety of services they can provide for you by visiting their website at barronswilson.com.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Hey, welcome back in South Dakota Sports Talk Show. We're live tonight. Getting you into Thursday evening. What do you got going tonight? Anything? Got some activity, maybe a little barbecue, maybe got some sports activities, got a little action going on. That's all right. Good stuff. Hope you're having a good Thursday. We'll get you into your Friday and into the weekend. Summer wrapping up. Can you believe it? Not yet. Hang on, not yet. But all those high school activities getting close. We got State American Legion baseball in Rapid City next week. Let's talk South Dakota sports. Zach Borg is on. Midwest Sports Plus, Sioux Falls broadcaster. Zach, how are you tonight?
Not too bad. Yeah, you mentioned summer wrapping up, and sure enough, we just had the media days for the Valley last week, and SDSU and USD begin practice a week from today, actually. It'll be USD a week from today, and then it was USD actually is a week from, I believe it's a week from, they'll be on Wednesday, and then SDSU is a week from today, and then, you talked about grilling, and I've had birds nesting in my grill all year, and I need to go get a replacement grate, so it's not been a great grilling season for me. I'll just put it like that.
Come on, man. You got to get into that. By the way, next Saturday, the Minnesota Vikings start training camp. And so I want the Zach Borg take. My question of the day, Kyler Murray is going to what? That's my question of the day.
Be the starting quarterback. I don't really, unless he's hurt, obviously, which would be a disaster. You don't bring him in to be the backup at this point. It just feels like the J.J. McCarthy thing is a bust at this point. But, I'll leave it open. You never know. There's crazier things have happened. Ever since that little viral moment he had in the locker room after he won that game a year ago where he was, I'm number 9 thing or whatever, it's kind of failed to land. I mean, you give him a chance to see what happens in camp, and if Murray doesn't perform, then, he'll get his shot. But it just is not, they fired Kwesi, and it just doesn't feel like anything's landing there. And this is a pivotal year for Kevin O'Connell. I mean, if he doesn't win, I don't. We've had some nice playoffs. I mean, they haven't done anything in the playoffs when they made it, and the years beyond that, they went in with pretty high expectations and kind of cratered. So, I wouldn't say he's on the hot. I don't know. I think he is on a bit of a hot seat, especially after the GM gets fired. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that last year the roster was as good as everybody pegged it to be, but it's a what have you done for me lately league, and I don't know that missing the playoffs a couple of years in a row is going to land well. So they need to, but there's always been kind of an interesting argument with the Vikings that they never have too many losing years in a row and they never fully rebuild. So they're always kind of stuck right in that middle of being competitive but not being, not being good enough to win the Super Bowl, but not being bad enough to get that essentially franchise-changing pick. So, are they ever going to pick a lane, so to speak?
One more NFL question for Zach Borg. He is a Chiefs homer. He is my Chiefs nemesis. You got a brand new stadium coming, $3 billion. The mock-ups came out yesterday. It's a dome. It's shaped like Arrowhead, kinda. You got a translucent glass ceiling. What do you think? Indoor, you're going to go after Super Bowls, Final Fours. Is that the right call for the Chiefs?
In practicality, it probably is. The whole situation with how they got the funding. I know Kansas has a different setup. It's something called Star Bonds, and it's kind of the typical stadium grift we see nowadays, which they were able to get taxpayer money, and obviously, I think for the fact they're going to be, I don't know. I don't know how the Super Bowl is ever really going to come there. I guess maybe the NFL will give them one eventually, and Final Fours and whatnot. I think that'll probably eventually happen, but I'm not a fan of it. I think Arrowhead Stadium's, I will say at least the stadium does look more like Arrowhead. The original renderings were just, no pun intended, considering your favorite team, but the original renderings were horse crap. I mean, I was fully disgusted with the original renderings because it looked like generic stadiums we've seen all over the NFL. It had no personality. At least these renderings kind of look a little more like Arrowhead and like something like the Chiefs' history and tradition. But man, I'm thoroughly disgusted they're leaving Arrowhead. I mean, there's so much history and tradition. I do understand that area where they're at, there's nothing really out there. I mean, they can't, and I guess developing it might be difficult, but man, to me, it's one of the older venues. There's so much history and tradition. It'd be like the Packers leaving Lambeau Field, and I wish they would have just put a dome over it or do whatever they wanted to do there. This is kind of what that looks like to an extent. So, or build something. It would have been nice to build something downtown in Kansas City, but. To me, it's going to hurt to leave Arrowhead Stadium. I mean, there's nothing like that venue. I hope this one retains some of the noise and some of that feel. But man, it's as someone who kind of grew up with that place, it's going to be taking a piece of my fandom away when it's gone.
$3 billion price tag for the Chiefs' new stadium. Those renderings just came out. Zach Borg's on tonight, Midwest Sports Plus. I know you guys haven't done a lot of Legion. Did some high school and covered that, but I'm trying to get a feel for the State American Legion tournament next week. Post 22's in it because they're hosting, so they're going to be in good shape. But they've had a nice season, 42-12, right in there. Post 22 trying to get back on top. They've been knocked off by some of these East River teams. Do you get a sense for, I know people are still qualifying today in this regional. Do you get a sense for East River teams Legion-wise that can compete next week?
I mean, it's kind of hard. It's been a bit of a parity year out here. I mean, and I know obviously we've talked a little bit this summer. I know 320 has been also kind of knocking on the door as well. I know 22 has really heated up here. They looked really good against some of the East River teams that came out there just last week, and I believe it was West and East came out there, and they I think a few of the games were kind of close, but they kind of dispatched them. I kind of feel like Yankton's a team down south that's making some noise. Yankton's had a nice little push. Seems like it's been kind of a down year for Renner, which is unusual. They've been you talk about a team that's kind of maybe stolen a little bit of 22's shine over the last couple of years. It's been Renner. They've won several state titles, but I think last I saw, Renner was competing for the 8-9 game. So it's kind of unusual to see them that far down. But it's hard to say because last year we remember Harrisburg. I mean, Harrisburg, their head coach was let go. They had an interim head coach in Will Simmons who was playing at North Carolina, and they ended up winning the state title. So, it's this time of the year where you just kind of get hot, and that can carry it. It's going to depend on who has the best pitching, and sometimes it just depends on who wins that first game. I mean, that was so critical last year to Post 22 when they were upset by the Stars. I mean, they, for all intents and purposes, Post 22 played pretty well that tournament, but by losing that first game, it just kind of threw them out of whack. And unfortunately, even though they came back and won several games, they were having to battle your way up after losing that first game really, really hurts you. So I don't get the sense, just kind of from what I've seen, that the pitching is as strong as it was a year ago across the state. I mean, we had so many aces going on day one a year ago. It was kind of absurd. So we'll see. I mean, and again, the fact it's out at Post 22's facility. That's a big advantage.
By the way, keep an eye on it. Post 320 is good. They're playing Mitchell in this regional, trying to get game underway right now, trying to win that series 2-0. Post 320 is good. Post 22, pretty good. Their automatic berth. We'll see who makes it East River. Next week, it's the State Legion Tournament. Zach Borg on tonight. I got to roll. Always appreciate you, man. We'll talk again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Appreciate it. Zach Borg on from Midwest Sports Plus here on the Nate Brown Show. Find him on X at Iceborg. We're back with who's hot and who's not. An update from Senator John Thune on the College Sports Act next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
The following radio ad is Good Fun Squad approved.
My name is Jenny, and I'm the lady at the South Dakota Lottery who writes out those big checks for our winners. It's a lot of fun, but we've had so many big winners lately, my hand is tired. There was a $600,000 winner, a $2 million winner, a $4 million winner. That's a lot of zeros, and not normal zeros, big check zeros, and the winning never stops. That's why I'm learning to write with both hands.
Good fun.
Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
Weekend meal rules, they're different. Lots of meats, messier bites, zero regrets. That's why you need Village Hearth. Freshly baked old-fashioned buns that hold up to jumbo hot dogs, juicy burgers, and bold ideas. From lazy lunches to neighborhood block parties, Village Hearth brings it all together. Whatever's on the grill, make the bun count. Village Hearth. Cookouts start here.
More inventory, more brands, more reasons to shop at Denny Mennel Rapid Chevrolet. Choose from over 350 used cars, trucks, and SUVs from all your favorite brands. Buy with no money down and no payments for 90 days with qualified credit. Choose from GMCs, Rams, Fords, Chevys, Jeeps, imports, and more. Buy all with no money down and no payments for 90 days. 16 local and national lenders available and all applications accepted. See us at Denny Mennel Rapid Chevrolet or DennyMennelRapidChevrolet.com.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Mainly clear tonight with a slight chance for isolated storms. Lows around 64, south winds around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 99. Mainly clear tomorrow night, 73. Temperatures well above average Saturday and Sunday with highs near 105. Slight chance for storms Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 71 degrees.
Are you tired of being pointed to a wall of shoes? At Trav's Outfitter, we know better. Buying shoes shouldn't be guesswork. That's why we find the right footwear for the way you move, whether you're walking, working, or just on your feet all day. Athletics, work boots, Western boots, everyday comfort. Because when the fit is right, life is better. Come find us in the old Kmart building. Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
Being in business has its rewards as well as its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique, and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate you. Thanks for listening every day. If you do, man, we really appreciate you. If you can't catch all of the show, I get it. Go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. Every show, every guest, from high school to college to the pros. Great guests all week long. The Nate Brown Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast. Search The Nate Brown Show. Who's hot and who's not, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. Best buffet in town by far. Hit the Pizza Ranch. In my Who's Hot category, big shout-out to Sioux Falls, Washington guard Noah Woods. You've seen this guy play, I hope. 6'8", Noah Woods from Sioux Falls, Washington, in the last 3 days this week, offers to play at Iowa, Ohio State, and Nebraska. Noah Woods, 6'8" combo guard from Sioux Falls, Washington, in my Who's Hot tonight. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not, Congress. Senator John Thune said they don't have enough time to get votes for the Protect College Sports Act before the August recess. Doesn't look like we're going to get any votes before they take a little vacation. Imagine that. College Sports Act hanging in the balance and everything else that matters. Thanks for listening to The Nate Brown Show. We appreciate you. We're back next week. Have a great weekend.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and sales